Thank you so much, Zenadir. And hello, everyone. As was just mentioned, my name is Charbunny, and I am so excited to be your host for our upcoming Metroid Prime 1 and 2 Multiworld Randomizer. If you have not seen this run before, it's so incredible. The items are not only randomized within the individual games, but across the game too, so the runners really have to cooperate to unlock progress for each other. Which, kind of the theme of today. And hey, speaking of collaboration, I would like to tell you a bit about our charity that we are raising money for today. Blue Path Service Dogs provides autism service dogs offering safety, companionship, and opportunities for independence. Blue Path's expertly trained autism service dogs are provided free of charge. They improve safety and provide families with the freedom to unlock life's full potential. I don't have a service dog. I have two adorable bunnies, and I know how much they mean to me. I can only imagine how much of a life-changing difference it must be for the people who are fortunate enough to receive one of these expertly trained service dogs. I want to thank you again all so much for raising $1,150 already for this wonderful charity. Every single dollar is appreciated. All of this is so meaningful. And hey, for everyone watching and supporting us by keeping an eye on the channel, sharing with your friends, we appreciate you too. Thank you so much for being here tonight with all of us. Or happy time zone, wherever you're at. Hope you're having a wonderful day. And there's quite a bit to look out for too at the marathon. There's more things coming up that you can help us unlock. We just saw how we could make so many wonderful pets, and that was incredible. I think I heard 50. Great job, everyone. We actually have some incentives coming up for games that'll be later on in the marathon as well. For Spelunky, coming up tomorrow-ish, I think, if I can do math right, maybe a little bit later, we actually have the ability to unlock a bonus co-op eggplant run. If you haven't seen Spelunky before, it's an incredible dungeon crawly platforming game where everything tries to murder you and usually succeeds. Obviously, the speedrunners are going to be way better than I was on a casual playthrough of this, but you'll want to see more of this game if you can. So donating to unlock that would be fantastic. That needs $150 to make it happen. And of course, thank you for already unlocking the Sloth Damsel for that run, by the way. That's going to be fantastic. If you don't know what that is, you can look it up on the internet. It's hilarious to see this picture of this sloth. It's fantastic, but if not, you'll get to see that as well. We can also, speaking of, fluffy friends, look to adopt a pet in Stardew Valley. In Stardew Valley, you can adopt an adorable little pet to spend time with you on your farm, and we are already at $100 out of a needed $250 to make that happen. So all of you are doing a fantastic job. In addition, if bid wars and maybe a little competition is more your side compared to the collaborative incentives that we've been looking at, there's quite a few of those to donate to as well. And with Tiltify, guess what? You can actually donate to both. You can both collaborate and compete, all with one donation. It's pretty magical. We have Stray coming up as the run after our next one. That'll be our final run of the night, and we can choose the skin for the cat. Right now, Spyro the Dragon is in the lead with $375. That's an interesting costume because Spyro's head actually makes it more difficult to complete some of the speedrun tricks, so that could be an added challenge for the runners. However, Garfield is not too far behind at $251, so that's another option for any of you lasagna lovers out there. Happy Puppy, which actually barks apparently, is at $30, and Normal, so the actual cat, which would be the legitimate one for the speedrun, is at $10. So plenty of options there, and about 3 hours to meet whatever one you are most interested in. For those of you in run coming up later in the week, there are different couple variations you can donate to as well. The one in the lead right now is Female K and Female U at $40, but there's also options for Male K and Female U, and Male K and Male U, so plenty of different options to choose from on that one. Again, !donate will let you donate, and when you're donating, you can pick both incentives and bid wars or polls in the system to go ahead and donate to influence the course of this marathon. All right, everyone, I am so excited to say that we are now ready for our Metroid Prime 1 and 2 Multiworld Randomizer in outer space with runners BashPrime and Uncle Reggie. Good luck, team!
Hey everyone, how's it going? Excited to be here for Multithon. I am Uncle Reggie. I'm joined by my co-runner BashPrime.
BashPrime.
Then we have good old Toaster Party here with us on commentary.
Hello. I will be emotional support for this evening.
So we are running Metroid Prime 1 and 2 Multiworld Randomizer. So effectively, we're going to have 2 item pools, one from Metroid Prime 1, another from Metroid Prime 2. We're going to shuffle those 2 item pools together like a deck of cards, and then we're just going to throw the items across both of our game worlds. The goal is for both of us to finish, so time is not done until we both have met our final win conditions. But we are going to have to read the logic and find items for each other in order for both of us to progress. I am Reggie, and I think Bash is primed and ready to go.
I would like to add one thing real quick.
Yeah.
As the seed hash says, there will be double combat this run.
Excellent.
I can't argue with that logic.
I'm ready to go. There are no files to erase.
All right, Toaster, would you like to give us the countdown?
3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so my section is going to start off pretty fast. I'm going to be doing a trick called Space Jump first, where I'm going to use the visor that we use to read things and collect lore in the game to yeet myself sideways at incredible speed. Just like that. So I am skipping several items of requirements in order to get here, and I am rewarded with one of the keys that I need to finish my game.
Meanwhile, on my end, I am scanning gates and watching them come down.
Ooh, progressive grapple. It's under my ship.
Alright, so that's good for me. So, I don't know if I want to get over settings or not too much, but I need 2 grapple beams to get screw attack. This gate's also open, so my Violet Translator is probably going to be late this seed. I can't do as much movement stuff as Reggie can, just based on how Echoes is more of a... Well, actually, Reggie, I'll have you explain that, because you're much better at it than I am.
Sure. So my game, I have no sideways speed cap, so I'm able to go left or right at pretty incredible speeds. There's a lot of tech that I can do to preserve my speed, in addition to build up on it. So, oh my goodness, we love that. Okay, you've got bombs coming up immediately.
Ooh.
So my game is kind of akin to running a marathon. Most of my exploits are going to be movement and speed based, whereas Bash's game, a lot of what he's going to do is more akin to pulling off a bank heist. Light beam as well, by the way.
Wow.
So he's going to be doing a lot more tricks and things of that nature, whereas I'm just going to be using a bunch of movement exploits to get around my game and pick up items.
Really, Light Beam is fantastic. Light Beam is really useful in combat against many of the game's bosses. I have a possible missile launcher for you here, but either way.
Okay.
This is either my launcher or it's your missile, so it's more likely to be your missile. I'm doing a nice extended dash there. I usually can't do sideways dashes like Reggie can, but if I scuff my dash into the ground and then bunny hop by holding R and L, that'll give me a huge burst of speed, which I can use sideways. Echoes actually does not have a speed cap sideways either, but Retro Studios for Prime 2 put in more checks to ensure. Ooh, wow. Okay, okay.
I mean, that helps with the double combat, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. What was I saying? But E-dashes were discovered pretty recently in, like, I think early 2020. And that has considerably opened up Echoes in terms of speed game potential. Prime is still the superior movement game, but like Reggie said, I have so many exploits and tricks up my sleeve that Prime 1 wishes it can do. And you'll get to see those more as we progress further on. Oh, Reggie's gonna like this.
Yo, I do like that a lot. I'm very
didn't?
surprised to have gotten... Yeah, imagine a sub 2-hour morph ball.
You have to wait. Shoutouts to me dying to a Morbus twice in the cross game seed I did on Tuesday, and then only have to come back here for like Metal Glen Solids morph ball. It's fantastic.
It's an E-tank for you.
That is very nice. The more
That
health I have,
early
the better.
game.
Echoes is arguably the most difficult game in the Prime trilogy. It has a Link to the Past style Light World and Dark World, but the Dark World's atmosphere literally damages me. And without suit upgrades, I am taking 6 damage per second when I'm not protected in the Dark World. So the more health I have, the better. There's my Chozo artifact equivalent from Reggie. I need 9 of those to open the gate to the final boss.
That's
And
not
there's your
under
launch.
ship. So you're going to have screw attack here shortly.
Like, even when like the grapples are low priority like shuffled, I still get them early so often. Screw attack is arguably the best upgrade in Echoes, but it is really bolstered by having space jump boots, which I do not have yet.
Collision.
Oh, yeah, shouts to Mr. Miguel in chat for clarifying some of the stuff I've said about Echoes. I actually thought Echoes had a sideways speed cap that they introduced in Echoes, but it turns out it still doesn't. It's just they have more safeguards.
Very cool to have Mr. Miguel in chat being the world record holder of how many categories for Echoes now?
Arguably everything. Alright, I'm here in Mining Plaza, the first major room in Aegon Waste. There's an item here that is actually late game. And it could be good. It is what looks like a Prime 1 missile for Reggie. I will confirm.
Bash's
And
favorite
early Amber
color.
Translator is fantastic. So I get with these settings where Violet Translator isn't necessary for early game stuff. Or outside of like maybe one room, but we'll see. Amber Translator early is nice. I have a movement system in Aegon Energy Controller, so I'm going to go that way. That might be my Space Jump Boots. That could be my Gravity Boost. It has to be one of the two since both my grapples are in Reggie's game. So,
As you might remember from your normal playthroughs of Echoes, there's not just scan points that tell you where things are. So as kind of a quality of life and to help kind of balance the two games, since Bash has a lot more checks, and the world's kind of a lot bigger and there's more items, it helps for this kind of playthrough to give him kind of vague hints on where he should prioritize checks. So for each translator he gets, it unlocks access to more hints, and using those hints and the knowledge of what they've seen in the world and what they have, they can make decisions to try to kind of do better than just randomly checking locations. So
Missile
there's a
launcher.
bit of strategy involved.
I can legally fire missiles now. We both can. I found Reggie's missile and he found mine. Hence the cross-game aspect. It's great. I'm detouring here real quick for this hint. It's out of range. And I got your Morph Ball bombs, Reggie. I'm going to go get that space jump, most likely, in Aegon Energy Controller. But you're going to have to wait a little bit on those bombs. So hang tight. Nope.
So
no thanks.
occasionally in both of our games, you'll see some weird out of bounds. What I just did is one of the easiest out of bounds in all 3 games combined, or all 3 Prime games combined. But I'm able to basically transition a room into another room by standing on the frame of the door and move sideways into the room and jump at the same time.
for whatever reason, that door is serendipitously blue on the other side. Otherwise, he'd be locked in there. There's no way to get out.
Not upset about that at all.
All right. I will be in business if Space Jump ends up being on the other side here. Screw Attack is also a very useful combat item, but that'll make itself more evident later.
So, another departure from the original game, where you notice there it's a progressive grapple. He got Screw Attack. So, there's a couple items in this game where if you grab no matter which of those two grapples Reggie grabbed first, it would have given Bash Grapple, and then the second one gives Screw Attack. There's one other set of items like that, and it's Light Suit and Dark Suit. That's because Light Suit is a strict upgrade to Dark Suit. There's no reason to have Dark Suit if you have Light Suit. So the first suit that either one of them finds for Bash's game will always be Dark Suit. A little departure from the base game.
All right, so I found my first power bomb expansion. I am not requiring main missiles or power bombs to use them, so I can go into Sanctuary Fortress right now. But logically, the game requires me to have the main power bomb upgrade for them to be considered for logical stuff. There's my space jump boots, so I'm actually able to go to Doomed Entry right now. It's very unconventional. I think I found a possible super missile of Reggie's in Torvis, which I cannot get to yet, but...
So, shout-outs to Nintendo and Retro Studios dropping the Metroid Prime Remaster the day before this run, so now my muscle memory is all terribly messed up from having none of the movement tech that I'm used to using in this game and that game. So... it's fun.
Ridiculous.
I'm having a blast.
Wait, not gonna lie, the instant I saw the announcement, the two of you were the first thing I thought of. I wanted to ask, have you already started messing around to speedrun that game, or what are your thoughts on it?
There's a lot of really cool things in it. The Metroid Prime Trilogy Edition became the engine that Retro used for Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. And then they slapped some beautiful new HD assets on top of that engine and then codified the items from the Trilogy Edition into that in order to make what we have. It's absolutely amazing. Almost none of the tech that we use in the original GameCube version is present. In fact, the most important thing in both of Bash and I's games, there is the box that every room is inside of, and that box ain't there no more.
Nope.
It's
fall down into a
gone.
death plane now. Is there a little death plane in some rooms now, or is that just a globally?
Yeah. So
in each world?
when you fall to the bottom of the room, you actually land, but then you can morph and go underneath the bottom of the room, and that's where your kill plane is. It's fun. It's exciting. The game's absolutely beautiful. We're currently, as a community, going through and documenting all of the things that we know from the trilogy version that still works, and all of the things that we have experienced viciously that do not work. But it's a wonderful time. I cannot believe that we got the game shadow dropped to us.
Yeah, Nintendo and Retro and I guess Iron Galaxy also helped on the development. They were cooking. I had lost faith in the rumors, and then it's like, oh, here it is. It's $40. It's available right now.
Speaking of the community, I do have a few donations if we have time.
Would love to hear some.
Yeah.
Awesome. We have $20 from Baja Blood, who says, glad to see CGC getting more marathon representation. Such a great game mode. I wish you the best of luck and the worst of seeds. Well, thanks for that. I don't know, the seed sounds pretty good from all of the ooh that I've been hearing. So I don't know this game well enough to know what the items are, but the reactions are really positive. We also have $5 from Happy Bear, who says, I started a Metroid Prime playthrough a couple of weeks ago on my channel. Bad timing, right? Good luck to the runners as we all celebrate our favorite bounty hunter getting her time to shine. Thank you so much to both of you.
Awesome. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I read the unfortunate timing. And that's just an excuse to play it all again.
Twice the fun.
You get to appreciate what was improved.
Can I mention one thing real quick?
Yeah.
A little while ago, I got, fittingly with how old Reggie and I are, I got him the Artifact of Elder. Continue.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, for meaning that hard, if we're meaning that hard, I have to point out that chat is already on top of the letter E, just being posted.
Oh, yeah.
It's fantastic. Reminder to chat, by the way, E's the 5th letter of the alphabet. If you want to start a $5 E train, I'm here to read those.
So in a lot of places.
No, go ahead, Toaster.
Yeah, a lot of places power bombs can substitute for bombs, except for a couple just kind of seemingly random places. I mean, this game can be a little inconsistent at times between how objects behave, but in Chozo Ruins, most of the covers that we need bombs to destroy can be used. Power bombs work fine, except for access to the Flagra fight. That one hard requires bombs.
I safety saved earlier. I'm going to dive into Dark Pirate Labs. I have Light Beam and Super Missiles, so that is open to me without Dark Beam. It is a little bit damage intensive, so if I'm careless, I'll die. So I haven't saved yet. Well, I hadn't saved up until then, so going to the best supply broom closet in the game. It's called a tunnel, but it's not. It used to be, and it's not anymore. And we just got more missiles for me, so bombs will be coming up for Reggie soon.
Ooh. We like bombs. So since I know that I'm going to be receiving Morphball bombs, I'm going to go ahead and put myself in the location where I would normally get those, so I can check 2 items and then be ready to escape immediately after.
I have a lot of faith in my roll shots today because I have like 5 health, and if I failed, I would be dead. There's nothing wrong with what I'm doing. Absolutely not.
So far, we are miles ahead of where we were last time Bash and I did a marathon run. 15 minutes in, I have Morph Ball and Power Bombs, and I'm going to have Morph Ball bombs, which Morph Ball took me, what, an hour? Took us to an hour to get, and then almost 2 hours for my bombs. So I'm feeling really, really good about this one.
Can't take Zoid. This boss is
there we go.
Incinerator Drone, affectionately named Zoid after the developer who created it by the community. It's basically a glorified autoscroller with an RNG element to it to how long the autoscroller takes. So every speedrunner's favorite dream here, sarcastically of course. You just kind of have to trivially sit on it and wait for the damage one to come out. And you can lose a couple of minutes if you get a really bad one.
I am heavily weighing whether I should get the cannonball, but more importantly, I need to get Reggie's bombs, so... I have opened up Transport Center access, so I can keep Cannonball, and if I have to return for Jump Guardian, I can. Also, I can break logic and enter Torvus early if I really want to. Okay, Morph Ball bombs are just about coming up.
Excellent. Also, E.
Also, I want to check real quick this item model, because it looks different. Actually, looks kind of... I don't know. I feel like it looks different in remastered than it does on SD. Anyways, let's not look at the item. Let's actually get it for Reggie.
That's a pretty set of bombs you got there.
By the way, if anyone's on the fence about Prime Remaster, I'm only halfway through. I can't believe a 2002 video game is now the best looking game on Switch.
It's incredible. It really is.
So good.
It's gorgeous. Although I do enjoy my broken, almost old enough to drink game.
Yeah.
Prime turns 21 this year.
Indeed. Echoes turns 19? I don't know if Nintendo is waiting on, potentially good remaster sales for Prime 1 for them to consider Prime 2. I hope it is just in development anyways, because I love Echoes. I mean, I love Prime 2, but... Do you get
So
waving? Is that what I heard?
no, I just did Swag BSJ, one
Yo,
that you're
let's
very
go.
familiar with. So there's a 22 frame window in both of our games where in Morph Ball, if we leave the ground and obscure the camera in some way, or have it mashed up against a wall in Bash's game, we can unmorph, trick the camera into letting us unmorph instantly, and then push the jump button to do what's called a bomb space jump. And it allows us to gain extra height because it effectively is considered jumping from the ground. So you get a bomb jumps extra height out of the experience, and it allows you to do some either really cool looking things, some fast looking things, or get some extra height out of a couple places. It's much more useful of a tool in Bash's game. There's a very few select places and conditions under which that can happen in my game.
I love that statue so much that Jump Guardian lost all of its health. And then I started the fight and it died.
What's a Jump Guardian?
I don't know. What's health?
Good drop.
Wow. Wow.
I have Cannonball. It's fine.
Amazing.
Cannonball is a non-standard item. Oh, there's my Ultra. Okay, I just could have just picked that up, but I'm BashPrime. Cannonball is not a logical item that is required to beat the game. I shuffle it because it's interesting, but it's basically like a volatile pseudo boost ball, but it is far, far more than that. For one, I'm invincible to all damage while morphed, except for like terminal fall damage. You know, I didn't think I checked. I forgot what crossword was. I'm gonna go check that out real quick. I also have a hitbox attached to the ball that does 500,000 damage per frame to any enemies that are weak to it, and since no enemy has close to that much health, basically it just insta-kills anything weak to cannonball damage. Note that cannonball damage is different than boost ball damage, and there are specific properties of the boost hitbox versus the cannonball hitbox, where the most important of which is access to being able to break the glass that leads to the room Airy, which has the second Dark Samus fight. Which
And
we'll see.
if he enters a cannon, since in the base game, right, the cannonball does exist normally.
Yes.
But it's just not an item you can pick up. So normally the game gives you the item and takes it away whenever you enter a cannon. So if he enters a cannon, he'll have it, go through it, and then it'll take it away. So he'll lose his toy if he needs to take a cannon for whatever reason.
No. Oh, wave beam!
Wait, babe. On my side, we're seeing the first major boss of either of our seeds. I'm fighting Flagra, which is such an enigma that it is spelled 17,000 different ways inside the game's own code.
Oh, I need to go this way.
So the first bomb slot is normal. We're going to knock down the sun dish and then roll into the morph slot and bomb the slot at the base. For the remaining three, I don't need to do that. So I'm going to use some movement exploits to put myself on the outside of them and hit the damageable triggers with bombs and skip the need to knock down the increasing amount of dishes.
Yo, Mark was my favorite Smash Brothers character. You're welcome. Reggie's just I make the same kind of flubs that Reggie does, like with speech. Oh my god, did I never go into sand? I'm an idiot. Shout out to me never going to Sandcash despite it being like the most open room. I always do this. I always do this, and of course it's my boost ball, so you know it's fine.
Nice.
Not of huge consequence, but it's fine. It's fine, chat. It's fine. It's all good. I'm going to proceed more into Aegon Wastes. I can do some Temple Grounds cleanup if I want to. I'm not going to do that just yet. I have Light Beam and I have, bombs and missiles. So Pirate Labs are relatively open. With Boost Ball, I could also enter Torvis, though. Torvis access actually is pretty tempting at the moment. What's going on, Reggie? What's going on your end? Let me actually see what you're doing.
Flagra knew how to read blue.
Oh, fantastic. Well, it's a good thing you checked that.
Amazing.
You don't have Varia yet, do you?
Nope.
Yeah, so
I'm running low on checks. I'm going to do early wild here. Toaster, will you talk about this since I can't talk and do this trick?
Yeah, so there's a trigger halfway down this room that you're normally supposed to touch as you fall down, and that basically resets everything in this room and the room before to change it to the ghost layer that has the artifact in vanilla.
Don't blink.
So what Reggie's doing is he's falling down the room like it wants you to, but then he's wedging himself between two walls with enough friction that he can bomb, in this. Oh, interesting.
Sorry, I got the save.
Okay, nice recovery.
Gosh.
Yeah. So at this point, he's touched the trigger. He just needs to get back up without Spider. So to do that, he's basically pacing his bombs so that he hits basically the top of each bomb, and very nicely gets an unmorph there. So
I
meanwhile,
cannot
killed
believe
Darkseid's
I
one.
survived that instant unmorph and landed on the block. Usually, getting an instant unmorph in that is a death sentence for the trick.
So I learned that in Trilogy, they patched that trick by doing something really funny with that wall. They just removed the friction on it to just go like all the way down. And that's in Remastered. So if you wanted to try that and zip down at the speed of light, it's,
See
it's a
how
fun time.
see how fast you can fall.
So power bombs do massive damage to early game bosses, and Darkseid's one is no exception. So I can just insta-kill her. I can't go in the room with the E-tank that I just found because I need Darkseid to get out. But I am just cleaning through labs here. And then what I end up doing next is got a couple of choices. Sanctuary now is kind of tempting because I can get at least one hint. But I don't have main PBs yet, so for that to be considered logical.
ghosts are probably the peskiest enemies in Prime 1.
And Reggie didn't
It
even...
should be straightforward, but you can lose a lot of time to some just real nasty ghosts.
He didn't even shuffle charge.
When you have multiple areas open and you're deciding where to go next, what are those factors that help you make that decision?
Number of checks is a big one. If I have dense heavy checks coming up, I'll try to route those in, but I might take risks. I'm safety saving here.
Yeah, these tips kind of apply almost to any randomizer. It almost doesn't matter what game it is, but yeah, the very kind of you can kind of think about it as how many checks per minute can I do in any given area. You might want to prioritize the most dense area, but another strategy is to think about the last progression item you've received in the logic chain. So, for example, if Boost Ball was the last thing Bash got, I don't quite remember.
I could have gotten that earlier though. So it was
yeah.
For me it would have been. Oh goodness, I'm not sure. Reggie, you got an E-tank coming up, so
Yep.
here you go.
Might be your Cobalt.
Supers my Seekers and Supers are my. I have Supers and Seekers already, but no Dark World access.
Yeah, so statistically, when you get access to a new item, the next thing the game would want you to do is statistically more likely to be locked by the thing you just got.
Or just fall down.
Just by probability.
Or fall down again. It's also fine.
Just gonna continue to find a bunch of items for myself here.
Would now be a good time for donations.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not gonna work. I'm BashPrime.
I always love how chaotic this is, and I appreciate the additional insight too, because it's so interesting to see all of the logic that goes into this. And one of the cool things about a co-op mode like this is you get to hear more of that communication, that thought process out loud. Oh, it's awesome. I want to take this chance, though, to remind people that we are raising money for Blue Path Service Dogs. And a cool program that I'm learning about that they have is their Pause to Learn program. In this program, dogs spend time providing therapeutic support in schools, camps, residential homes, and rehabilitation settings. Future service dogs and program participants learn together, with the dogs obtaining important training experience and individuals receiving invaluable benefits. Pause to Learn impacts over 2,000 individuals annually. That sounds way cooler than any of the summer camps I went to, and way more helpful. So I really appreciate that we're raising money for an organization that does such cool and helpful things like that.
That's awesome.
I'm even still kind of starting to run out of logical checks, so I'm gonna go. Normally I would skip this energy tank, but I'm gonna be doing some heat runs here in a little bit to try and peek at other locations in the game and get some more stuff.
I just realized I almost have access to Sank Entrance, but only almost. I'm lacking a certain green HUD system that I need to translate green stuff. I don't have Spider, so I'm unsure why I made this choice. Oh, nice. That was awesome.
These
That's a
three
precise jump to do.
got Tower Light, Tower Chamber, and then Lower Ruin Shrine over here.
I could have a possible Annihilator Beam
Swag
in
dash?
Dark Oasis.
No
That's
swag dash.
bad.
Almost.
Okay. I'm gonna dive into Sank now, and get like 2 checks and a hint, and try to kill a pill bug so I can get Power Bomb refill. There we go.
So this is some of my favorite movement pieces in my game right here. This room is Tower of Light. It's where you normally get the Wave Buster item for Wave Beam. And instead of knocking all the stuff down, I'm just going to do a bunch of dashes and abuse some standable and climb the room very quickly to get a space hamburger for BashPrime.
Yo, lovely. Space cholesterol is good cholesterol. Space LDL. Or bad space cholesterol.
The event is not a medical doctor. Please take caution with any advice that is dispensed on stream that is not intended to be
Don't listen to me.
legitimate medical advice. Although if you can find a space hamburger, I'm very interested.
Also, roses are red, violets are blue. I just found BashPrime's Inghive key too. Let's see here. Where else can I go with this?
Had to menu mod my way to victory, so.
Just want to jump in real quick. Hey, chat, we're aware that there's an issue with audio. Bash, just in case you don't know, you turned into a robot. Yay! Which is very cool, but slightly more difficult to understand. So if you have a way to take care of that, that's awesome. Chat, promise we're working on it. Thank you for letting us know.
I have the game up on my end.
Yo, Magma Pool Dash, first try. I think it's reminiscent of the former challenges that you were having, Bash.
Oh, is it the thing? Am I? Oh, I see what's going on. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's the thing.
Dang it, dude.
Buying it. Okay.
Magma Pool is a big gap, but scan visor very powerful. Big jump, big gap.
I curved
Almost.
way too much on that one. I made the getting there dash, which is the most important one.
Yeah, if you can, like Magma Pool is just barely what's possible in terms of horizontal distance, and it's a very flat room. So if you're ever curious, you know what you can and can't do with scan dashes, just try to picture in your head Magma Pool's lengths around the world.
Yeah, my mixer's been acting. Hello? Check.
Hello.
Hello.
Check, check. Oh.
Yeah, you're a little quiet, but
You
you're
are
not a
clear,
robot.
quiet.
There's something going on with this. It might be my mic or something. It hasn't done that in a while, and it's a little unfortunate that's happening. But how are we doing now? We good?
Yeah, this
Much
just
better.
works.
Cool.
We're good, but now I have to wonder if you are in fact a robot. Do you have any way of disproving that?
I'm really dumb.
That was definitely not the
I make
answer I was
extremely
expecting.
questionable things.
I was thinking if you could like look at some stop signs for me and tell me which ones are and aren't stop signs.
Look at some. Select all the rooms that are in light aether.
Oh my gosh. That's some
tank for
good
you.
stuff. Ooh, that's perfect timing considering I'm about to go into Lava Lake without Varia suit.
I don't know.
You
Whatever.
were so healthy for early game.
I'm so healthy.
I
So
mean, can robots consume butter? I don't think they can. Checkmate.
what if you grease them?
I don't know. That's a good point. Good point.
Chat, if you have any questions on how to detect if someone is an AI or a person, please feel free to donate them so we can figure this out.
Yeah, actually, I'm just a chat GPT runner.
Oh my goodness.
So Retro Studios really doesn't want you to do this here. So for one, they remove the cutscene in this room. But two, that's Phazon suit. That's usually a pretty hard item to find. It's usually one of the last things you find. But so the heat, there's twice as much heat in this room than normal. So he's losing about 20 health per second rather than 10. But of course, finding Phazon suit in the middle of the heat run changes how much damage reduction he has. That doesn't just affect enemies damaging him, but as well, it affects just the ambient heat damage. So all things considered, he's actually pretty cozy in terms of dying from heat.
Yeah,
lots
this
of water,
is
everybody.
pretty good.
Shout out to this room not being hot.
Oh, I should have held back on that E-tank, so I could have cannonballed and just stuck around in Hazy
That
Cliff.
is all good. Here's a Dark Aegon key, probably.
Oh no.
Nope,
Dark
another
Tower should
Inghive
also not be
key.
good. Fantastic, that's fine. Except now,
Yeah.
if you find another red key, it's likely to be a Torvus or Aegon key. So
Now we're gonna get a little bit more questionable. I need to find another E-tank or make it to the Magmore elevator or I will die. And I'm really cutting it close for that Magmore elevator.
you're fine. Didn't you just do like the 2-tank thing or whatever? And
I
East
did.
doing it or something?
It's gonna be close.
I know I'm probably hanging around Aegon too long. I have 2 more logical checks here. One being the room here in Central Mining Station,
Hold your hat.
and then I have Command Center.
I think I'm good.
After that, I'm gonna return to Temple Grounds, or actually,
Yo.
all right.
Well played.
Children's game made for babies.
Wow. I thought Echoes was the baby game. I think this is just a missile expansion. It is. So I'm gonna check Command Center, and then I have 2 choices. I can go to Temple Grounds because I still have some relatively early game checks that are now open with like screw attack and stuff. The Corvus also has a decent bit open, though. I can't do a ton. I can do a few checks, but I can't do like a bunch without sequence breaking. Oh, I do have an artifact of yours here, so I'll go get that.
That Phazon suit honestly carried the entirety of that Variolus sequence. Because I have the default suit damage reduction enabled. So Gravity Suit, which is what I had before, gives me 20% damage reduction. But with Phazon's 50%, it was an increase of 30% in damage reduction, which was goated.
That's a precise
so-
map. Are we sure you're not a robot?
It's simple addition.
Ooh.
1 + 1 + 2 + 1.
Oof.
Yeah, see, my brain's
also
food, so-
Echo Visor for BashPrime in Fendrana Shoreline's Ice.
Maybe I'm getting Annihilator soon. I'm gonna go
Plasma or
rush Temple
Boost
Grounds.
would get me that.
All right, go get it.
The other thing that's nice here is that if Reggie were to take a death, since the Inghive key was for Bash, it actually gets sent to the server and saved there. So if Reggie dies and goes back in time, any items sent remotely over the internet will still stay. He only loses items that he's collected for himself in his own world.
Yeah,
So if he wants to collect something and then reset out or do anything like that, that's a safe play.
I'm suspicious
Yo,
of
Reggie Dash.
of Torvus checks
Nice.
here, so I'm gonna go check this out. I got Seekers and Boost Ball, which opened this up. I have Supers to leave through the front side of Torvus Temple. I could do the pirate fight in Torvus Temple and open up Lower Torvus, but I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm going to do a cooler trick, actually. Okay, I still killed that. It's fine. I'm going to do a Seeker Skip here. Fun fact, Screw Attack can damage Seeker Missile locks, so usually we buffer a couple of the locks and then Screw Attack the rest. That is a key I do not want, so if you can go ahead and take that back, Reggie, that would be fantastic.
I can't. I kind of burnt myself for that one.
You're phase on, so you're fine.
Crispy.
I'm just going to be doing a couple of checks here. I don't have a ton of Torvus I can do. I also did that slope jump wrong, so good job. I'm banking on maybe finding some key progression for either myself or Reggie. Oh yeah, that's right. We have the Path of Roots thing that I completely forgot about. So here are your supers, Reggie.
Yo.
Now go to tree and enjoy your plasma there or whatever.
Tree do just be a missile, but I am happy to have those supers.
Just go to
Thardus?
Labs, I guess. Thardus, yeah.
It's currently where I'm headed.
So I have like
For whatever reason,
4 checks here I think I can do. And then I'm going to go to Temple Grounds, which is probably where progression actually is. Go with that. Sorry, Toaster.
for whatever reason, the back half of Magmor isn't superheated. They must have just not bothered, since they would have assumed how it's really hard to get back here without Varia.
Do you need E-Tank, Reggie?
This would be a pretty good time for one.
I have grapple. I could have just done this. Fun fact, grapple is faster in some rooms.
Thank you. That brings me back to full health.
You have 7 tanks? I have 1.
I'm looking, buddy.
I'm playing the harder game. Oh, okay, there's a plasma. I knew it.
Oh,
I knew
okay.
it. I knew it. So what does that get you?
Your Echo. So I'm gonna do Thardus into your Echo Visor in Shorelines.
All right.
Well, that backtrack.
I echo that sentiment. I'm going to open up Torvus from this side, and then I'm going to go to Temple Grounds and potentially also get a out-of-logic item here, if it's anything good. So Torvus Lagoon, I am logically required to get Gravity Boost for, but I can do a frame-perfect trick called Air Underwater, where if I morph the frame that I submerge myself in water, while I am restricted by the water's movements, I can Screw Attack. And I just got that first try. I'm a pro gamer. For now.
That's awesome. Well done.
That's really hard. It's 60 FPS, 60 hertz game. 1 frame window. And I just have to get a feel for it, so. I've used all my gamer, whatchamacallit there, gamer prestige, so everything else I do is now going to be, like, 25th try.
But Reggie, you need to use the Morph Ball boost to get out of the way.
Shame. I wonder where that is.
Yeah, I can get that first try and then get 5th place in the Rando tournament. Meanwhile, Baja is going to be doing grand finals in 2 days against Estrion for that coveted first place title for the tournament, which is pretty cool. So now I am back in Temple Grounds. There's a fantastic quality of life thing. I actually need to go back to my ship and save and refill my missiles, which I did not do. What I meant to say is both randos that Reggie and I are doing have a quality of life feature called Warp to Start. Any save station in the game will allow us to warp back to our starting location. So for us, it's both our landing sites. And that saves a ton on backtracking. My landing site position is great because that allows me to position myself to go to Torvus or Sanctuary or kind of just wherever. This is also open. Okay, this might be my last Dagon key. I don't want to.
I'm
be here.
attempting to exterminate Dwayne the Rock Johnson over here. Honestly, it's
Emphasis on the rock part.
the rock part, specifically the rock. Which honestly,
Does he
this
have-
has been a pretty decent fight.
Does it have eyebrows to raise at you with?
Sussy rock.
2 of those rocks have to be eyebrows. I mean, that's how anatomy works.
Once again, this is not a medical stream. No medical advice being offered.
Yeah, there's a lot of enemies that are weak to power bombs, especially ones where you're intended to fight before access to them. Power bombs come pretty late in this game, so a lot of enemies you can just kind of clean up with them. For Thardis, only the lower rocks and the chest heart are reachable with a power bomb.
I can go this way.
Oh my goodness.
I actually have a lot of temple grounds open to me.
Hey Bash, who needs
Ooh,
E-tanks?
Thank you.
Oh, I do not
I still
have
want E-tanks.
Spider Ball,
Dark-
so I get to do a fun trick here. Normally, Spider Ball is the item you get from Thardis there. Since I don't have it, I'm not able to quote-unquote get out of this room. However, I can move myself into a slope and push the jump button and add some extra vertical momentum to my jump to allow me to get out.
So you have a slope and you jump off it. What's that called?
A slope jump.
I got an upcoming boss here called Dark Missile Trooper. Pretty interesting boss where I just powerbomb it and it dies. Oh, and there's your powerbomb expansion. So there we go. Is that your first one or?
That is my first expansion. I already have mains.
Oh, okay. Well, I shouldn't have got it then.
But I need all the power bombs I can get in this game.
Fair enough. Well, you
Yeah,
have like
Prime
5
1
now, and I have 2.
Down. You
Prime
only
1,
need to.
basically, the drop system is a loot table where every single room has every single thing that can drop an item has a specific drop rate, and you just kind of slowly memorize them after playing this game for thousands of hours. Whereas Bash's game tries to just give you what you need whenever something dies that can drop something. So
Yeah, if you intentionally run low on ammo, the drop system just gets overridden by this weighted value. I think there's actually a drop table for each room because some enemies just will not drop stuff, or like there's some specific condition like I need to kill 2 enemies to get like a power bomb drop, which is kind of strange sometimes. We have Dark Suit, so I got Dark Suit. That will allow me to last 5 times longer in the Dark World. So instead of taking 6 damage per second, I take 1.2 damage per second. And that E-tank is very nice, so I'll be pretty comfy for a little bit, as long as I don't take too much damage from enemies.
Shoutouts to my
And
favorite
then
dog in the game.
even then, I can intentionally run low on health and then get an almost guaranteed, like, large or ultra drop. Oh, I have no power bombs. I was trying to... See, when my power bomb counter is 0, that means I actually cannot lay power bombs. So I need to get a refill from this technically weighted system. Oh, and I get a PB expansion just in time, so... My impatience has been the death of me here. And there's another artifact for Reggie, so... How many is that for you now?
7.
Gee,
So I'm going to read my 2 remaining hints.
wow, what is happening?
I already have Phazon suit too.
You're destroying the seed.
My elite research and Bash's GFMC.
oh my god, well I'm on my way there, so I'm literally about to get it.
Oh, you've
Missing
got
Ice Beam,
Echo
right?
Visor coming soon.
Right.
Yes, Ice Beam is my only missing major progression item.
I still
Besides
have a few
Boost
things
Ball and
left to get.
Varia.
For a cooperative run,
we
this
might
feels
be-
a little one-sided right now.
We might be massively ahead of estimate here, production, just as a heads up. That's right, I'm gonna make mistakes. It's all good. Like, I still don't know what my required bosses are yet, and I have 7 SDKs left for Go mode, so Reggie still probably has things to get for me. In fact, I think he for sure has some things to get for me. And there's my last Aegon key, so I don't even need to speculate on whether a Morbus is required. It's going to be required. I can tell you right now it's going to be required.
Yeah, I've already had 2 majors on bosses. Oh, there's another key for you.
Fair enough.
How many is that for you?
That's 3 for me now.
Okay, so
need
you
6
still got
more.
a little bit of work on your side.
Yeah, so
I
I
will
need
get to moving.
Dark World access for Go mode. And whatever little keys are locked behind. This is out of logic until I get main power bombs, but I mean, why not? Actually, this is... Oh, I need... This is out of power bombs again. Oh, let's go! No, I didn't get the... Walk of shame, chat. Walk of shame. I
There's
killed
the
the pirates at
Echo
the same time. And I needed to kill them one after another to get the guaranteed power bomb, or likely the guaranteed power bomb, I think. So I get to go back to GFMC. If I were smarter, I would have blown open the power bomb door, refilled the power bomb, and then not have to worry about this scenario. And I just didn't do that. So
I didn't even know what you were trying to do, and I could feel the heartbreak when that happens.
yes, that's one of the rooms where I think you're always supposed to kill 2 enemies minimum for the almost guaranteed power bomb drop to appear. But then I super missiled both pirates and they were together at the same time. And I killed them at the same time, and I think that had something to do with it. That's okay, though. This will get us closer to estimate, so it's fine.
Another burger.
Are you... I spent all that time going back. You know what? You're not even getting that missile.
I climbed Chozo Ice Temple as fast as I could for you.
Ooh, it's so hard.
Stand on Burhead. Oh.
It's pretty much my game. In addition to move quickly, it's stand on X or...
Yeah, if in Prime, if it looks like you can stand on it, you can, and even if it doesn't, you probably still can stand on it. And then in Bash's game, if you can something, you can screw attack it. I don't know.
You can screw attack into a morph ball hole. You are out of bounds.
Yeah.
Or even
do you have a
slanted
problem?
wall.
Did you try screw attack? No. Okay, try screw attack. It's like a flow chart.
I haven't even gone out of bounds yet this run. I don't think. I may not even have to. I'm getting all the right items.
If you don't mind me asking, how did the two of you start doing this run together?
That's a good question. I think so. Once Prime Multiworld support happened, we realized, oh, we can shuffle items for each other. And I think Reggie and I just hung out with a bunch of other similarly interested cross-game people. And then we, a bunch of people in the community were like, hey, what if we made a tournament where it's like 2-on-2, like 2v2?
Yeah.
And,
so last year we had the Metroid Prime cross game tournament, also known as cross game cup, also known as CGC for us. And after the tournament was over, Bash and I started doing a lot more runs with the two of us, and being the delightful friends that we are,
Gentle just kind of splinter
evolved into this.
It worked out really well because before you could play Multiworld with both of these games, there were alternating tournaments between Prime 1 and Prime 2, and there'd be fans of both that were always disappointed when that was going on. But we had a tournament that had both, and it was like the most exciting thing to happen. So there's a lot of good VODs of races out there on YouTube, I think, especially in the top 8. There's a lot of exciting matches with some recognizable figures on commentary.
Do you want this, Reggie?
What do be that? I cannot see at this time.
Boost ball.
I would love that.
All right, I'm not gonna get it. I don't think you need it.
Okay.
I have boost.
I gotta ask.
Look at the size of the morph balls. I think my morph ball is slightly bigger than this morph ball.
I came into this thinking I was watching a cooperative speedrun. Is this actually one of the competitive speedruns instead that we have on the schedule?
It is now.
Yeah. Especially considering I'm one artifact from being able to finish my game.
Yeah, Reggie's winning.
It's kind of a race at this point.
Great, now I have 2 Torvis keys. I have almost all my Red Temple keys.
He gives me a progression item.
What is the seed?
I give him a boss key that he really doesn't want to fight.
Good trade offer.
Just for my curiosity and the drama, if you finish the game before the other person does, can you lock them out of finishing?
Yes. If you don't go back
if you refuse to pick up things, you need to, yeah.
Yeah. Ooh,
that
this
goes
is
against the spirit of cross game. Multi-worlds are a fun thing.
French Bernerger beam combo.
I didn't even get the text for that. I don't even have Dark Beam. Maybe it's waiting for me to have Dark Beam. I saw it in your game, so I know what you got me, but All right. I am actually getting a. Oh, you know what? I have. Let's see here. I think I have one check left before I get into logical Burger King. So
It's a big scripted multiple wave fight in this room that starts as soon as you walk through the front door. And Reggie just narrowly avoids it by jumping up and back.
I tried avoiding that in remastered, but then I forgot that you're more slippery in remastered and trilogy.
Yeah,
So
moving
I
like a
the
hot air
trigger.
balloon.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ooh.
Unless you're locked onto something. My God, I am a Torbis key away from having all my Red Temple keys. I'm actually shocked at the amount of progress we've made in an hour.
It's a
We
lot.
are for sure going to be destroying estimates. So, Toaster, if you want to roll another,
Yeah.
another fast seed.
Oh my goodness.
So this is George. George doesn't like power bombs, and neither does his tank. But Viralabox really likes me. Shoutouts to Viralix.
A nice big space pirate hug afterwards too.
I really don't need that E-tank.
Even though you don't
I
have
do.
Varia,
I
you
have two
still
tanks.
don't want it. You full cleared every check in Magmore Caverns, even though it's heated, on first pass.
My missile
Not plaza
expansion.
processing.
Okay.
Or do you have Ice Beam? No, you don't.
I do not have ice beam, so plasma processing is the only thing that I haven't gotten. I'm gonna go back
I need to
to
go this way.
Observatory save station and then go do Crossway area.
All right. I have a Mortis left, and then I think I'm close to logical BK.
Okay, so then either Crossway or Crossway
it's a bug
isn't
seed?
in my logic. Oh my gosh, that would be
What if I
hilarious.
just forgot to do something? No, I think I think Amorbus is the play here. Oh,
Oh,
That was exciting.
did you
Aw.
disconnected?
Yeah. Classic Discord at
Fantastic.
11:15.
Yo, love it when that happens. All right, I forgot to go back live again on production engine, so I'm doing that for people to watch my footage because it's great.
thank you kindly.
So the only thing I have confirmed in terms of like difficult / challenging checks is that the second item that Umos has is not required. But I have no intel currently on Amorbus, Chica, or Quadractus, which are the three major boss guardians like in the game. They are the functional equivalents of like Flagra, Thardus, and Omega Pirate. But unlike Prime, I have a lot of mini boss fights. I like Boost Guardian, Jump Guardian, fantastic names, Spider Guardian, Alpha Blog, which is admittedly a very cool boss name.
Sure.
Yeah, right now I think my last logical check right now is Amorbus, so I believe I'm getting something good here, unless late Chozo ends up being important for Reggie.
You mentioned something earlier called logical BK, which I think was Burger King.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain that for anyone who may be hearing that term for the first time?
Yeah, so it's a fast food chain where it makes sense.
Somehow I am now more confused, but thank you for the explanation.
So there's what's called like the logic. There is a trick database of what I'm expected to be able to have access to with a certain number of items or specific tricks. So I have a few what are called beginner level tricks enabled, and they range from what's called like beginner. I'm sorry, my phone is going off because it's telling me to take my melatonin. I am not doing that because I'm an irresponsible person. So I'm mainly basing my settings here on tournament settings, and it has a few things like standable terrain, using like screw attack without space jump to bypass otherwise, to make things like easier to access with fewer items, more or less. I am trying to do worm skip, and I'm probably going to fail this, so we'll see. Nope, still got it. We're good.
Nice.
Also, shouts to Worm Jam or Worm Rave. This boss is usually required so much now. Yeah, so there's a logic database of like what I'm expected to have or do to get to certain items, and there are things that are considered out of logic that, because I have a decent number of experience with echoes, I can do potentially harder tricks that I am not technically required to do to get items. So I've done some stuff out of logic, like accessing Sanctuary without the main power bomb upgrade. But because I can just do it, I'll do it for the sake of being thorough. So in terms of stuff that, like, I am definitely expected to do with what I have, this is my last current check without, like, Dark Beam or Annihilator Beam. And, of course, it's a beam here. Hey, Reggie.
Oh, boy.
I don't even have to ask
how
if
does-
Morbus is required anymore. It just
No, you
always
don't.
is.
How does
Always
a fast
required.
food chain fit into all that?
Good question. So Burger King took note of this, and no. So during what was it, like a Ocarina of Time randomizer multi-world session? So I'm out of logical checks. So I am at a point now where I cannot technically progress further with what I have until
You
Reggie
could
gets me
use your
something.
time to do something like
explain
visit
this?
your favorite fast food establishment,
True.
and it would not affect anything until you are out of
Yeah.
logic gold
Yeah.
burger.
So I'm in a position where I am stuck and need Reggie to get me unstuck. That is called BK mode, and that happened because in a multi-world session, there was a guy that got stuck. He did all his checks he was able to do with the items he had, and decided, you know what, I'm gonna go to Burger King since I have nothing else to do. Sometimes you can be stuck for a decent bit, especially in bigger multi-world sessions with like a bunch of players, like 10 or more. So yeah, like spent like, I don't know, like 20 minutes to half an hour just walking across the street to their Burger King, getting probably a Whopper or something. I don't know what they like to eat at Burger King. Came back, like they ate, they came back, and they were still stuck. And then it caught on
Wait,
from there.
seriously, that whole time? Wow.
I can break the game, though, and do out-of-logic checks, even though I do not currently have, like, Dark Beam. I can still bypass it by doing a thing called cheating. Or, yeah, not actually cheating. It takes skill. It takes real skill, guys, okay? I'm serious. So, I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to progress into Torvis and skip the Emerald Translator and Dark Beam to check a couple of things.
What things are we looking to check right now?
Oh, I forgot. Dang it.
Well, Reggie has the whole game open to him now, so...
Yeah, virtually. And I don't have anything required behind my spider checks aside from you have an STK in my ruined fountain. So my spider ball is like my last thing. I can skip every other requirement for it, luckily. And if I need to fight Omega Pirate, I will need X-Ray Visor. I've already skipped Varia entirely. Nice.
I
offset
forgot if I
bomb.
saved, but I can make it back to where I am, so... I'm not too concerned, but I'm going to play it safe.
What do we got? Missile.
So with Out of Bounds, I can just completely break open the logic of what I'm expected to do or what I'm expected to have in order to be able to get somewhere. So like there was that Emerald Gate that I just passed by. I can go Out of Bounds and skip that and get some later Torvis checks that might have like what's expected to be late game stuff that I can instead get early. So I'm metagaming it, I'm speedrunning it, doing some cool tricks that you will that you can see even in like any percent, 100%, just in a randomizer setting, it's a little bit different. So the big thing that's holding me back right now is I don't have Dark World access for most of the game. There's a couple of like generators like in Aegon Wastes where I just have to scan like a little thing and it'll pop open a it'll open up a portal for me to go into, but like there are portals like this which are more common that are just they exist but they're inactive and you need either Dark Beam or Annihilator Beam to open up the Dark Portals, or Annihilator Beam or Light Beam to open up the Light ones. And so for me to get to Dark World, technically, I'll need Dark Beam. Or, again, Annihilator Beam. Dark Beam would be huge. That opens up a huge, huge, huge amount of my checks. So what I'm going to do instead is, there's a Morph Ball size hole here, and I'm just going to go out of bounds and fail it, but that's okay. I can try again.
Also, shout outs to the secret tunnel that I went through a few minutes ago.
Secret tunnel. And so now, out of bounds in all Prime games is very, like, choreographed. I cannot just walk anywhere I want. The game keeps track of what's considered the active room or transitioning, and I have an SDK here that's I can get early, which is cool, or I can just fail it. There's a crash risk here, which is why I saved. All right, as long as I hit the load trigger here, or the prox load, we're good. Okay, we're good. I have mitigated the crash. So I don't have Emerald Translator to open the gate, but by going out of bounds, I can skip it. And then, conveniently, in this room in Torvus, there is a, despite not having transitioned into Torvus Grove, there's a cutscene trigger that puts me back in bounds. And now I'm back in bounds. I'm having a good time of it, so.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Do I need to submit to you my Pokemon photos for review?
Your work is impeccable.
Oh my god. Hey, you're in go mode now.
Uh-oh, is it my spider?
It is your spider.
Neato. So we just need to get you Dark World access so that you can check your hints.
Pretty much. Where's my stuff, Reggie?
Where
are my 3,000 E-tanks that I need?
Really hard.
Do you have X-ray yet?
I do not. I also don't know if it's required. There's only the one check
Gotcha.
it blocks.
All right, I'm going to skip Dark Beam again. I am going to go out of bounds here. Shout out to the Sporb.
Orb.
They love orbs. I guess that's why they're called Sporbs.
Here's some progression for you, Bash.
Ooh, it's going to be Sonic Boom.
No. More useful.
That
Spider
is
for
big.
spider, how kind.
So Reggie doesn't always need Spider Ball for Go mode. I pretty much always need Spider Ball. There is the final boss has a phase where I'm expected to be attached to it with Spider Ball.
Double life grove.
Are you kidding me? That's so bad. All right, so what I just did was completely pointless, which is fine. It's fine. It's fine. So what I'm gonna do instead is fall down. Okay, well I am now back in logic. So Dark Beam is like Wave Beam, where there are a ton of Dark Beam locked things that are just open. So I have access to pretty much the whole game now. But especially with Dark Beam and like and then Spider Ball, like all of Sank is just about open. With the exception of like a few places. So, but more importantly, I have access to my endgame key hints. So again, I actually have 4 out of 9 Sky Temple keys. Those are like the Chozo artifacts, but for echoes. There's a gateway that needs 9 to open. So thankfully there's an open ceiling in this room in Torvus Grove. So I'm just going to fall all the way down and go back in bounds. Then because I have Boost Ball, I can just do this.
And we know where one of your remaining keys are, as it's in my ruined fountain.
So I have 4 keys that are not accounted for yet.
Are the keys the only thing we're missing, or are you looking for some more upgrades as well?
At this point, so it depends. It depends on where the remaining keys are. If there's anything that is Annihilator locked, I will need Annihilator Beam. There's a couple places in Lower Torvus that are, or one for sure that is hard locked by Gravity Boost. One that would be locked by Gravity Boost if I didn't already get Power Bombs. Okay, having this open is nice, so I'll come back later, but in the meantime, I'm going to go make my way to the Sky Temple Gateway, which is where the path to the final boss is. It's this cool, big, symmetrical room with a bunch of little like pillars in it, and that lets me scan them and let me know where the remaining keys are. So like that's like the main objective of Echo's Rando is, and technically Prime Rando is get your end game keys, but what locks those keys? So on top of like what you would need from just basic movement and just like weapons to actually kill the final boss and get to it. Like where those keys are will determine what you need in addition. So like the rune fountain thing is basically hard requires spider ball for Reggie. Unless he does some real glitch stuff that I don't really see that often in randomizer playthroughs, like in the community.
Yeah. It's also, unfortunately, impossible for me to do now since I've killed Flagra. Or not impossible.
Yeah, true.
It's just incredibly more difficult. Because there's one other place you can get floaty
Just go out of bounds there and have a good time with it. I think I saved, right? Well, I saved recently enough, so it's fine.
Another nice quality of life change. Usually you can't go through Frigate backwards like this, or at least not staying completely in bounds. One of the powered doors actually doesn't open unless you shoot the wave beam panel. So just as a quality of life feature and to not confuse new players, we open that door from the back.
So that Amber Gate's really nice. Or it's really nice to have Amber Translator. That's like a major pathway to, or a major like roadblock to Torvis if you don't have it, but getting it early is like a sigh of relief because once you get your remaining stuff to kind of make it easier to go through this pathway. And this is also where the path to the final boss is. Speaking of, there was a donation incentive I set that I believe got met. Is that correct?
That is correct. We did meet that donation incentive. Would you like to tell everyone what it was?
So, normally when you in casually play through Echoes, there is the sequence here where you have to activate this gondola because you can't jump high enough to get to like this portal, and that's your way around like a super missile door, and you don't have supers yet. So it's like there's like this one-way access to Torvis Bog, and so the way you do it is you have to come all the way over here and hit these bomb slots and get the gondola like detached from like the wall or detach it from the wall, and it'll activate it, and you get to go on this fun little auto scroller, this fun little ride, a little like Disneyland dark ride, if you will. I like to call it Space Pirates of the Caribbean. And it's family friendly, it's fun for all ages. And speedruns and stuff like this, it's just useless because you can slope jump and just skip the ride altogether. But I'm a theme park ride appreciator / enjoyer. So we are going to go ahead and ride on this thing. It's fantastic. Speaking of ride on, hey Reggie, what does Rhyhorn evolve into?
It's a loaded question.
It is a loaded question.
A precursor.
Fair enough. So you go on this ride and you're having a fun time. The night barbs kind of just ruin your day. I actually died on this playing casually because I had like no health. Nice powerbomb ammo though. I wonder where that was.
Actually,
earlier.
more like the Buzz Lightyear ride.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's like that. Shoutouts. Or like the Toy Story Mania shoot 'em up gallery kind of thing. Ooh, is that the Ruined Fountain Key?
Uh-huh.
Cool. So I have 4 keys left to find, and we're not out of the woods yet, so we'll see what I need. But I have Screw Attack and I have Spider Ball, which are like 2 major things. Like Screw Attack, Spider Ball, Morph Ball bombs to get through this section here. Screw Attack I need to actually reach the final boss of the game, or to actually reach the sequence of final bosses, I guess. Need Seeker Missiles and Super Missiles, but we found those so early on that they are not of consequence, so... Usually it's like I got Dark Beam early, and then I have to find Supers really late, or Screw Attack really late, or something along the lines of that. So here's like the sort of Artifact Temple in this game. Also, very, very important scan I'm going to do here for the fun of it, since we are way, way ahead of estimate. So Reggie mentioned the Cross Game Cup Tournament, Champions of Aether, Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, Randomizer Tournament, Cross Game 2022 Champions. Shouts to Cosmonaut and Cestrion. Cestrion was the Prime 2 player of the duo, and Cosmonaut was the Prime 1 player of the duo. Okay, I got Sentinel's Path, which means I need Annihilator Beam. That is hard blocked by Annihilator. Okay. But I have Echo, so it's fine. I have Watch Station, which needs Spider, but I have it, so that is fine. I have Aerial Training Site, which I can get. And what is the last one? Transit Tunnel South, which is garbage. Technically, Gravity Boost and Annihilator Beam locked. That one I actually can go out of bounds and get if I really need to. Now, if that were Transit Tunnel East, I would for sure need Gravity Boost. So I can't work around it. The question is where is Annihilator Beam? It's possible that Annihilator Beam is blocked by another item. And it's not, and I don't have any current intel on as to where, like, what I will need to do to get Annihilator. So now it could be as simple as Reggie just finding it in his game world. If I end up getting another translator and doing more hints, you know what? I'm an appreciator of this game. We're gonna go ride the gondola again. Is it useful? No, because I can just do a slope jump and get to that portal that was at the very end of the ride. But again, it's great. I love theme parks. I hope you all do too. It's fine.
We get
I'm not
2
losing
for
my
the
mind.
price of 1 on this? I didn't realize we were signing up for that. I'm excited.
It just happened to work out. Normally I wait. So usually I wouldn't do this until like final bosses, just because usually we're closer to estimate. And the sneaky
For
seeds
all
that we
the
get-
other times,
Yeah.
you ride the gondola twice in a seed.
Oh yeah, or 3 times or 4 times, you know. Fine. Now here's
You already
something
spent
that's
all the effort to unlock it.
now
It'd be
what
a shame to
upsets
let
me
it
as a
go to waste.
speedrunner. What upsets me as a speedrunner is, watch, I'm gonna get back on the gondola, and then look how fast this goes going back. It's like ridiculously fast. Like, as a speedrunner, why can't I get that speed
Yeah.
going to the portal? But I mean, we skipped it,
That
so it's
that
not-
can't be regulation. That speed.
Yeah, this is OSHA cringe right here.
Well, not even OSHA. You're a guest.
Oh, true. I don't know if I can sue the mouse for that or not. Probably not.
So I was thinking all of your donations are what unlocked this gondola ride, and all of your donations
We're
are helping
still going
support Blue Path Service Dog. So thank you again so much, everyone, for your generosity, for your contributions. We've raised over $1,000 for this fantastic
amazing.
cause. Appreciate it so much, everyone.
I'm already on the gondola, so I'll just take it again to the portal, and then I will actually make my way to... got a few things open here. I think I'm going to go into Torvis, like Lower Torvis, and go into Sanctuary from there. But I have options. It's just... I'm not sure what the best option is, per se. But I have logical access, I guess, now to Sanctuary. Well, we'll just pretend that I do. I have power bombs. It's fine. I can do things. Production's letting me know that they love the gondola ride. Maybe not as much as I do, but it's fine. They'll learn to appreciate it someday. This pirate is playing defense, dude. NFL's got to hire him. Super Bowl's coming up. Maybe they can get him in last minute. Oh, no, wait. The draft just happened, so... I don't know how things work.
Just
Salary caps and all that.
down, but on purpose. So I'm basically just in full clear mode. I have every item that I need to make every check in the game that's remaining, except for the Omega Pirate. So I'm just gonna go do all of Farfendrana and then go do all of mines.
What if we kissed at Elite Quarters? Without
If
X-ray
you
visor?
manage to get there, I will be afraid.
I got 2 hours to reverse engineer the game and put Prime 1 in it.
Add a room.
What was that bonk, dude? That's nice. All right, so
That's 180.
Dark Beam opens up Torvis Temple and the pirate fight, and importantly, it disables this laser barrier around the elevator that actually extends down to the door that leads to the submerged part of Torvis, called Lower Torvis. I could skip it, but you know, I'm a content enjoyer. I might as well just take the less risky path here for now. So I'm gonna do just that. I'm mainly interested in opening up Lower Torvis and going to the Sanctuary elevator that is accessible from there. So we got a pirate fight here. There's a skip that comes in. I shoot it with fully charged light beam, and it dies. Along with the
Funny
pirates on.
ragdoll.
And then I'm setting up a super missile here, waiting for these flying pirates to spawn, and supers dispatch both of them. And then just got a pirate fight here. Now, if I were out of bounds during the flying pirate segment, if I killed them, I'd be placed back in bounds. And that is a important strat for like any percent and 100% for sure in Prime 2.
I found it.
No, take that back, please. How dare you?
That's all of them, right? Every last one?
That is every last temple key.
How often do we see that?
Not often. So again,
We've been blessed.
if I just straight up find Annihilator, I will be in go mode because I can go out of bounds and skip the gravity boost to get it. Also, nice E-Tank. My third one of the run. Fantastic. Too bad I don't have any Emerald hints to go get more intel, but that's kind of why I want to go to Sanctuary, because I can go from there. I also have one more Aegon hit I can do. That is sometimes pretty powerful, so I will maybe route that in. That's kind of on the way out, but...
My third nothing item.
Do we want to go to donations soon, or would that be acceptable? I'm just going to be opening up the way to Sank, so I'm just going to be dipping into Torvus, enjoying the music, and then we'll be in Sanctuary again. The music's also great. Unless there's anything you want to talk about on your end, Reggie.
Not yet. I'm just wrapping up my checks here in Farfandrana and falling down.
So this door I just went through, I needed to kill the pirates to get through, at least inbounds. There's a way around it that's a bit more finicky. Don't need to do that this seed. It's fine.
So, but yeah, Charbunny, if you've got either donations or some blurbs about Blue Path, this would be a great time for a little bit of that.
Awesome! I know Blue Path is such a cool charity. I honestly hadn't heard. You okay?
I'm fine. Sorry.
I hadn't heard about Blue Path until this event started, and I'm fascinated the more and more I learn. So for anyone who's joining us just now, hasn't heard the cause that we're benefiting today and throughout this weekend, Blue Path provides autism service dogs offering safety, companionship, and opportunities for independence. Blue Path's expertly trained autism service dogs are provided free of charge. They improve safety and provide families with the freedom to unlock life's potential. So with your donations here today, you are definitely making a difference for so many people. It's incredible. I love that with speedrunning, we get to come together and do really fun things like playing and watching video games, and also make a difference in the world. I don't have many other hobbies that get to combine things like that, and it's so cool every single time. And again, we are going all weekend long. We have games tomorrow, we've got games Saturday and Sunday. So make sure to use !schedule to check out all of the games coming up. We still have Stray later tonight. And of course, !donate to donate. And for Stray, we'd be remiss not to mention that you can help influence that run. For Stray, you can help us choose the skin we use for our cat. Right now, Spyro the Dragon is in the lead, but Garfield has a chance at catching up. So depending on what version of the cat you'd like to see for that run coming up in just a little bit later tonight, make sure to get your donations in now.
Oh, I want that. All right,
So
I'm going to do
that
a
was
cool little puzzle skip.
Some funny timing on items for us right as you started reading the donation information about
Oh, shoot, sorry.
Blue
GDQ
Path.
Part 2.
No, it's just like Bash got me my X-ray visor, so now I have every major item that's logically locking something in the game except for Varia suit as I fall all the way down again.
I can't believe you don't
and
have
then
that.
immediately after, I found Bash's dark visor.
The Dark Visor's big. With Emerald, that opens up Sank entrance, so of course that's going to be required probably. We'll see. But Dark Visor locks a few checks there. So the vanilla Sky Temple keys are in these like flying Inkash enemies that require Dark Visor to even see and hit them. So now a few of those checks are opened up, namely the Battleground check in Aegon Wastes, and that is my light suit.
So there's
That's
all the
really
rest of those dark
Yeah.
visor checks.
So now I got Dark Oasis. I've got Sanctuary Map Station right here. That's just open for business. You know, it's all in good fun here. I got that Cobalt translator to go check this out.
Is there an opposite of BK mode? Like, what would the opposite of a burger from Burger King be?
Go mode.
Where you just have all the checks. Oh, that makes sense.
I'm sorry.
I wasn't wrong.
Oh my
God.
gosh.
Hold on, I need to collect myself. I just got lightheaded. That's insane. So yeah, you
Okay.
need light suit to get in there, and I need both suit upgrades. Thankfully, fortune smiled upon us today. Oh my god.
That's incredible. Sank map Varia suit. That's not a very good spot for that.
Yeah, talking about logic.
Imagine if that were a beam or something.
It's if for the settings they're playing, the game does not expect Reggie to walk through a single room taking heat damage. So that run he did, what, like an hour ago, where he broke into a new area by running through a bunch of, lava and hot air. Just now, he's logically expected to be able to do that.
Yeah, which had my Phazon suit locked behind the ability to do that.
But somehow
which
I had
hard
to
required to
wait.
beat the game.
All right, so I'm mainly getting intel at the moment. I think I might backtrack real quick and get this Aegon hint. Just in case, but... Wait, I already got this. Oh, I got this way, way long ago. That's right. All right, I'm going to detour an Aegon to go get this hint and then get a couple more pieces of progression. It may end up being bad. So there's like there are two guaranteed joke hints that have like green text. I have found, I think, one of them so far. There's still one out there. And then... But, I don't know, late game hints like this sometimes are pretty powerful, so I'm just gonna hope and pray that this is good. But we'll see.
What are you missing? Annihilator Beam, Gravity Boost, Violet, and Emerald.
I'm not gonna need Gravity Boost, but I need... Oh, like in items, yeah. I have a good number of items on my end, so like I'm close to go mode. In fact, I can get everything except for the Sentinel's Path. Sorry, Toaster, what's up?
So, Reggie, you got Gravity Suit super early in Vault, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you were supposed to wait for Bash to do a Morbus to get your Ice Beam, and you had your own Wave Beam. So I think you were supposed to go through Crashed Frigate.
Yes.
And get to the back Magmar elevator.
Yes.
Interesting.
To get to mines, specifically.
Yeah, so the game wanted you to zigzag around the whole world without touching any of Heat and Magmar.
Yep.
And you just zipped straight through and broke the seat open. Interesting.
Cheater.
Very.
I say as I screw attack out of bounds.
And we clarified earlier that was just really skilled gaming.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is.
I've been taking notes.
This is skill gaming right here, where I failed the Seeker skip, even though I have Seekers.
I was about to say, even though I found your secret missile.
We got time, right? Might as well showcase some cool stuff. Wow, that was somehow not high enough.
So, meanwhile, I'm just cruising through my path to lower mines here. I'm going to use my sideways yeet ability to skip a giant gap. So I don't have any way to have intel on my final bosses. So I'm just doing base. Oh my gosh. My muscle memory is wrong because Remaster has Spider Ball and L.
That's right, it does. Here, have an E-Tank for your trouble.
Hey, thanks.
Alright, so that was just a Hive Temple hint, so unfortunately nothing good for me. So I'm going to go back to Sanctuary. We're going to have a good old time since I haven't done much there, and I need to get some Saint Keys, which I did not write down because I am BashPrime. I have Watch Station, I have TTS, Sentinel's Path, and one more thing.
You know what, buddy? Just for you. You got me
There's
one.
been so many moments.
Let's go!
There's been like 4 moments like that where like Bash gives you Spider and then you give it to him back.
Yeah.
You gave him a visor, he gave you a visor back.
It's the it goes across the games. Like,
Well, yeah. I'm the fool, I guess. I'm sorry.
Toast, you're great. I'm sorry. Enjoy your debug symbols from Prime Remastered.
Oh my goodness.
Imagine
What's in
waiting
PMT?
20 years to get those.
5 missiles,
Oh my
and they're
goodness.
gonna stay there.
Alright, so I'm actually pretty good on health for the seed. Generally speaking, I aim for like 4 E-Tanks and like Dark Suit. Or Light Suit and like 2 or 3 E-Tanks. And that's like, that gives me a pretty comfortable spot. So any more E-tanks I get are just additional good things to get here. I mean, there's that E-tank I can get right now in whatchamacallit, in Storage D, but I don't need to get that, so. I think scouting out Sank is a fun time. We can go meet my best friend O'Lear, get a hint off of that location. If I find Annihilator there, then I'm good to go, but I'm hoping this will narrow down my boss hints as well. So, something I may do is wall crawl to Sank entrance, since I now have Seekers and Dark Visor in order to do that. Also, you know what? No, I'm going to go for content. I have Dark Visor and I have Light Suit, which means only one thing. We get to check the other bad Sanctuary location.
Is it? Could it be?
Could it be? I don't know. Now, there's like these Luminoth corpses that hint to where like they're the Dark World equivalent in that room that has these flying ink caches. So like I had like Reggie's beam upgrade like in Accursed Lake from like the light side of that room, which is where the hint is. And Sanctuary entrance has a hint, but the corpse doesn't appear until I fight Spider Guardian. So what I'm doing is goated, because if this is progression, I don't have a hint for this until I do Spider Guardian. Also, I technically need access to Sank entrance, which you cannot get to in reverse without going out of bounds. There is a Seeker lock in the way that is one-sided. So I have all the tools I need to do this.
Fighting the final boss before final bosses, Omega Pirate. It's pretty simple to. He's manipulating the AI to attack it without getting attacked and returned. And then for this damage vulnerability phase, he's dealing a very specific amount of damage to each of the phases. So he starts with 2 missiles and then a super missile, and then a couple more super missiles every time he spawns to try to recharge. Should be able to knock him out in a single cycle and save a bunch of time. So he knows exactly which pool he's going to spawn in. Nice.
Sorry.
Just because it's very deterministic. It's the pool furthest away from you, excluding the pool you just spawned at. So if you know what's going on, it's pretty easy to manipulate.
Yeah. Meanwhile, BashPrime finds Violet in Hive entrance.
Which, if I did like the regular tournament settings, my Violet Translator would be like one of the first things I would get guaranteed, because my path to Aegon is blocked by Violet. But because I made that an unlocked gate, Violet gets to be put here instead. It's fantastic. And that locks logically like 1 item in the run, as well as more hints. So that it is still good news, because I will be able to narrow down where my Annihilator is if it's in my game. But then that's also still intel, because if I don't get hints for it or something leading to it potentially, then that possibly means that Reggie has it somewhere. But Reggie's completed a good amount of his seed, so
I have exactly upper mines from elite control access to main quarry, and I am 100% clear.
That's insane. It's been like an hour and a half, dude.
It's very fast.
I'm gonna try to get power bombs.
I do want to remind everyone that if this run's wrapping up fast, then that means our next run's coming up soon, and we still need to choose what that skin is for the adorable cat in Stray. Spyro's still in the lead. Garfield has a chance, though, and Garfield's actually a cat, so maybe we can bring Garfield back to the front. Just a suggestion. We've got ideas. There's also a Happy Puppy if you want to tie everything in with our wonderful charity that we're raising money for. So if you would like to influence the next game that we are going to see, make sure to get your donations in and select that poll when you go through. Thank you.
I thought I killed the Ying, but I missed the beacon.
The last color for Bash?
Oh my god. Oh, let's go! Alright, so all of my translator hints are open. I have access to Sank entrance, which is also open. Corvus hints now are really, really good, so I will probably backtrack for those once I clear out Sank stuff. But if I happen to find Annihilator here, then I don't have too much to worry about. Yep, really, Jet, like with what Reggie pulled off with the Magmore stuff, and then just stumbling upon like the 2 major things I needed.
Yeah, having the intuition to do bosses instead of putting them off too.
Yeah.
It's sometimes a
Stop bullying me.
strategy is to put off bosses because they're very, in terms of time, not very check dense. So, but it paid off. So
I think it's my second joke hint of the run. So everything else is going to be some type of intel that I'll get. Whether it's a for Annihilator, if I end up finding one for it. So there's other like guaranteed hints I'll get. So the 3 major guardians in Umos 2 are all guaranteed to be found in a translator hint.
We've got a friend coming up into this room. If you have fingers and would like to say bye, Calvin, for me.
Hi, Calvin. I have fingers. And I
Hi,
said it.
Calvin.
So Calvin was the yellow guy that I shot a super missile at there. He is notorious for angering the big boy that is at the bottom of this room, the Phazon Elite. Which, if you are fighting that guy and trying to prevent him from aggroing, which makes you able to just spam missiles at his face until he's gone, Calvin will be happy to drop to the bottom of the room and instantly trigger the guy's AI.
Type that E letter, chat. I just found another E tank. I am good on health at the moment. All right, so I have a couple sky
my
keys
last
here,
artifact.
So get these in. Nice. Oh, nice hint for
so
plasma.
every big elite has basically a blind spot. You just stand off center and never let them stand directly in front of you. They'll never attack.
They develop their object permanence as soon as they see you, though, so you have to be careful. Okay, well, nice. Where was? Wait, was that OP?
No, that was
that
Phazon
PCA?
Elite.
Oh my god.
OP's already done and gone.
So I just did a spider track skip to unlock that bomb slot in the portal that leads to aerial training site. That is one of my SDKs. And the other SDK here in Watch Station needs spider, but I can still skip most of the spider puzzle with the trick I just did. And I cannot get on the spider track for some reason. That is great. Thanks. This game is patched. Okay, that works. Sure. That's fine. It's fine. Everything is okay. Everything's going according to plan.
Here's an interesting question. What kind of hardware setup are you guys running? How are your games actually physically connected to each other?
So both of us are playing on the Nintendo Wii. The program that we're using to send things back and forth as well as randomize the game is called Randomania. And so we have our PCs running the app as well as our consoles connected locally over the internet to it. And it allows us to pass items back and forth from real console to real console, which is really cool. It's also fully cross compatible with the Dolphin emulator. So if you long ago had access to a console and do not any longer and were responsible, you can play the game with your friends.
Yeah,
It's a great time. I will say if you have a Wii and are playing on Nintendo and on console, get a LAN adapter. If you're able to run an Ethernet cord. Because sometimes my main where are those?
Security
Where are those
access
at?
A?
Okay, so now I logically have access to Sync. Well, no, I did as soon as I got the Emerald Translator, because I had the Dark Visor and Seeker missiles to enter from entrance. But the other 2 elevators to Sync from Aegon and Torvis need power bombs. So like I have power bombs because of the expansions I got, but the main upgrade is what's considered the logical. Like, all right, you have power bombs now. Here's all the stuff you can do with power bombs. All right, so I have some unfortunate news. I'm going to lose my cannonball here, but that's fine.
Uh-oh.
Because I don't really need it. If I also really want to, I can get it again through like the in-game way where you can sort of keep it. And that's my go mode, so I'm glad I did that.
Cool.
All right, so just found Nyler. Nice.
So then I'm gonna go beat my game.
Yeah, that gravity boost was clutch. So I have basically a full tracker now, which is actually pretty cool. So this is the one Annihilator check I have right here in Sentinel's Path. It is also Echo Visor locked, but I got that courtesy of Reggie, so thank you for that.
I got you. Yeah, so my entire game has either been looked at or actually acquired, which is incredible.
That's insane. It's been an hour and a half too. Like, that's how quick Prime can be sometimes. Like
1 hour 38-minute ship save for me, and I missed ship dash.
I'm gonna bonk here. We're good. We're good. Also, Annihilator's really great for phase 1 of Emperor Ring. I'm glad I have it. That'll set up final bosses really nicely.
So for timing, is it timed when the first person finishes or when the second person finishes, or combined? Okay, just curious.
There's that guaranteed Amorbus hint. Just reminding us of what was on Amorbus. It's great. Let's say hello to our friend O'Lear. Hearing the words of O'Lear, last sentinel of the Fortress Temple. May they serve us well. They have. Thank you. The run has been blessed. On top of the vanilla ETM that I found in Great Temple, so I'm validated. Well, hold on, Reggie. Do you have your flamethrower?
No, I do not. I'm the only beam combo I have is supers,
which I found and had a hint for. So, well, I don't have a hint for those. So maybe it's in your game.
No, not in my game.
You haven't full checked
There's
everything.
no game left. There's no more Prime.
Yeah,
I looked. Prime 2 Echoes.
Just bosses.
Prime game.
Yeah. I missed. That's amazing.
Yeah, when we race this format, they take the average time of the two finishes, just to incentivize both players always playing as fast as they can. So if one player is taking a little lead on the group, it's always a push to get the fastest time you can on bosses.
This would be a very interesting Cedar race with like the amount of skips being done. Like probably this kind of time would be like expected. Like
it comes down to like routing.
So many.
Bonk.
Yeah, a little boost bonk takes out an entire phase. So this is the lowest Ridley's health bar can go. Using boost ball, and it just takes it out all in one go. So I guess some kind of error in the programming that made Ridley very weak to boost ball, and let boost ball deal damage every single frame with no cooldown. So
good fight.
My last SDK is here in Lower Torvis. You know what? I think I'm just going to do it the inbounds way. I can do a really cool screw attack, and I have gravity boost, so it makes it even easier to do, but also I think I'm going to just do this for the fun of it, just in case Chica has flamethrower. Because if that's the case, I can detour for that. We can do it. We can have a fun little Chica fight here. Well, nope, just a spider ball. That's fine.
Wow. Overshot that dash by a
Nice
lot.
bonk.
So Prime does get one single hint for its game. Phase on suit, since it locks so little checks, it does get one hint just so it's not last location, but it tells you just the region where it is in order to help that kind of end game hunt go a little faster.
Actually, I'll tell you what. I'm going to show the method out of bounds to do this after I get this. It's really quick.
So there are two fission Metroids, which are one of the worst types of enemy in this game, in this room, unaffectionately nicknamed Jack and Jill because they like to knock you down their hill. So I did some standable to minimize the impact that they can have on my experience in that room. And I'm going to go beat up a giant crab.
Crap.
You have to attack this weak point for massive damage. That was my last Sky Temple key. I have access to final bosses now. I'm going to show, like, so there's that whole puzzle, right? So you can skip it by doing this. And I get that first try. That doesn't happen very often.
Is it your first screw attack, Secret World, of the Seed?
No, I've done another one.
Okay.
I did the one in...
Oh, that's right.
So with Exo, there are 4 phases, and each phase is going to progressively add a beam vulnerability to it. Thank you, GameCube D-pad. The first subchamber is going to be Power Beam and Wave Beam. Subchamber 2 adds the Ice Beam to the mix. Subchamber 3 adds Plasma Beam to the mix. And then in Subchamber 4, it can do whatever it wants, whenever it wants, however many times it wants to. What I'm going to try to do to keep its RNG to a minimum is stand really close to it and force it into melee attacking me, and then shoot it so that it just continually does that and does not do things that I do not want it to do.
Yeah, pretty much all of its other attacks tilt its head way back and makes it really hard to hit the face. It's only really damageable in that kind of eye socket. There's additional places, like right here, where he can sneak in a little extra damage. Damage does carry over to the next beam color that it's choosing to switch to. So there's a tiny window as it's running over your face that you can shoot up and hit it. There's also what we call turnarounds. So after dashing across the room, it'll turn around, and there's a little period of time where you can use the previous beam to do damage. So.
Early. That's okay.
I'm gonna detour for my last emerald hint. That's kind of like on the way, and then I'm gonna go back to the ship. I'm gonna detour to a Curse's Lake. I'm curious. There's a beam upgrade of Reggie's up there.
It could be my validation.
It could be. I'm interested in getting that since there's no beam ammo expansions in Prime 1. That's guaranteed to be a beam or a beam combo. And, you know, I like making sure runners get validated before they finish their seeds. So Scrunchler is giving me a slightly bad time, but that's fine.
One thing Reggie's doing that works in both games is after shooting a beam combo, I mean specifically super missiles, is he's bringing out the scan visor to skip part of an animation. There's a small cooldown after shooting a super missile before you can do anything else with your arm cannon. But switching visors and coming back makes his arm cannon actionable sooner.
Ooh, is that fast?
And you'll see Bash doing that a lot too.
Yes, that is fast.
Ooh,
Double charge.
It's cool, like what shared stuff is in like some of the Prime games. Like out of bounds mechanics are almost exactly the same in all 3 games.
So yeah, slope jumps. You kind of wall boost in both games. Not quite as much in Echoes, but
dying and rage quitting.
Falling down.
Yeah, that too. Especially in Prime 1.
Really.
Safety saving here. Going for that average time by not going straight to the pedal bosses and trying to get flamethrower. We like Ice Spreader Watch. If this is flamethrower, I'm gonna be really happy. I'm just gonna refill my ammo. The ship is the only save point in the game that refills both health and ammo, which is also the case in Prime.
All right.
Corruption,
And let's see. So now that I have defeated the crab's soul is going to escape its mortal shell, and I'm gonna attack that now. So squid. So Essence phase of Metroid Prime is only vulnerable to the Phazon beam, which is why Phazon suit is hard required in order to beat this game. To get some optimal AI choices and limit it, I think it's 4 decisions possible for it to make. I'm gonna stand still until it does that, and then I'm gonna do 2 different kinds of canceling. Toaster, would you take over on that for me, please?
The first thing you'll see is that he's not just holding the A button and dumping the full pool into Essence. He's actually giving it time, just enough time that Essence decides to do an action, and then he's interrupting that action shortly after it decides to do that. So it basically has a table each phase between each pool that says, I want to do, I don't know, about 10 things. And he's just rushing through that table as quick as possible to get to the next pool. So the visual indicator is, funnily enough, the chin. So every time that chin like pops out and pops back in, you're kind of safe to shoot just a tiny bit of the beam. And then, towards the end of the fight, to try to skip a one extra phase, he's switching to power beam, and then he's stepping in and out of the pool. So there's an interesting property of pools where if you're shooting the phazon beam while not standing in the pool, it doesn't actually consume any of the pool. Nicely done. So Reggie's able to save a cycle there of the boss by stepping in and out of the pool. So Reggie's done, but the run isn't over. It's cooperative run, and both runners need to reach the finish line here.
Yes.
So.
G. Single G.
Single G.
Yeah.
Just one G. Have to hold on to the second one, Chad.
Unfortunately, Cursed Lake was Ice Spreader, so it's not Flamethrower. It could be Flamethrower here behind Hive entrance. We'll see. Oh, look, an E-Tank for Reggie. Let's get that. Sure.
Yeah.
Might need that for
Definitely
credits.
need
I don't
that.
know. Could be important, Yeah, the
It'd be
one
funny if
violet
it popped up
block
on the
thing.
screen.
All right, so I'm just gonna make my way to Emperor Ring here. I definitely did not need to take this detour, but that's fine. I was like, maybe I won't be throwing for content, but I did.
How many missiles do you have? I wonder if you get the 75% ending.
Oh, me?
Maybe.
Nope.
No.
Unfortunate.
I'm gonna fix my credits. We'll see where my remaining 2 beam combos were: Wavebuster and Flamethrower.
I'm holding off that potential Chica hint, but it's probably not going to happen.
There's some good locations on this.
Chica's
Free
probably dead.
Morph Ball.
Ah, my beam. Oh, that actually was. Wow, dude.
Sank
put
that
my-
Varia.
It put my Annihilator hint behind Violet.
Wow.
It was an Under Temple for Flamethrower.
Ah, lovely.
Wavebuster was an FTA.
Fantastic. Wow. Amazing. All right, well, final bosses, but I just love that gondola, so we're gonna go on it one more time.
The bonus gondola ride.
It's
This
great.
is 3
Yeah.
times effective. We only donated once, and we got 3 gondola
Look at the
rides.
value.
We're kind of losing it over this.
Just
This
getting
would be
attacked
a
by
good
night
point.
point.
For any last donations
Yes.
before the end of the run.
Got it. I just want to say thank you again, everyone, for your generosity. We are on day 1 of this 4-day marathon, already blasted past $1,000. We have now raised our goal since everyone met the first goal of 1K so quickly. We are now making a new goal to raise $3,000. And something cool about that number that was mentioned earlier is, if I'm correct, we actually need to name a dog if we do that. Not just a dog in a video game, but like an IRL service dog that goes through this charity, which is so cool. So we are doing a wonderful job of making that happen. Thank you again so much, everyone. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am.
I needed to show my gratitude to that portal since I didn't go in it before, so it's fine. Everything's fine. Got time for like another donation, I think.
Got it. There's some incentives I haven't updated people on in a while, so I really quickly want to throw those out there. For the Spelunky run happening tomorrow, there's actually a bonus co-op eggplant run. Have either of you seen Spelunky before?
I have not.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with what this run is? I don't know if I remember the eggplant route, but
I am not familiar with this one, but considering the content that Spelunky is able to provide, this has to be good.
right? I really hope we get to see that one because I've seen Spelunky gameplay before and I cannot wait to watch that. That is currently at $5 out of a needed $150 to make that bonus run happen. So if you want to see more speedrunning, more co-op action, and more Spelunky, and an eggplant, all of those things, you can go ahead and donate and select that target. And because of the way this works, you can also donate towards that bid war for Stray, our next game coming up, or you can donate towards the Haven run coming up a little bit later tomorrow, I believe. We again have plenty of speedruns, plenty of things to donate for, and it's all for a fantastic cause.
So we're at Sky Temple here. Needed the gateway keys in order to actually get here. And then here's the screw attack part that I need screw attack for.
For whatever reason, Retro was really into like aquatic beings for the shapes of their enemies. So we're gonna start off with a barnacle here,
Shut up.
and then go right back into crabs at the end.
Oh my god. Alright, I have Sunburst, so I get to just take a third of its health out. And then we annihilate the rest of its health away, literally speaking. That's phase 1 down.
Like
that
a
one
clam.
really great. If I didn't have Annihilator, I'd use Super Missiles. Now, this is the Spider Lock section. You can actually do this without Spider, but it's really, really bad. And even the best runners hate this, doing it Spiderless, so... I don't have Cannonballs, so I have to watch out for these Inglet puddles that can knock me off. So far, I'm getting good luck. And we're good,
Really good
so really good luck. This phase controls so hard. Our Emperor 3, really, usually complicated boss here, but unfortunately has a screw attack hitbox below its body that we speedrunners just hit a couple times, and maybe another time. That was so good. It wasn't the perfect Emperor 3, but everything else was just perfect. So now we gotta escape. We definitely took all the planetary energy, even though we didn't take any of the other regions in the game. And again, Echoes is just a series of heists that you do. We're a contractor, so we're technically doing a good job. I think we're fine.
Calculated.
With apologies to Toaster, because
Yeah. Can I see your license?
so I say Emperor is the final boss, but there's actually like a post-climax boss coming up. Dark Samus is not happy that I just power bombed her way back when in Aegon Wastes. She's angry, so we're gonna just shoot 25 Annihilator shots. And then 1 power shot. And she's gonna charge up this big beam attack. So this is actually, this is a 2-phase fight. Technically the 3rd Dark Samus fight, but there's Dark Samus 3 and Dark Samus 4. If I do any more damage to her, she goes into Dark Samus 4, which is very slow, and I'm trying to avoid. But I can do screw attack damage, of course, so I'll do that. Hope that she's still in Dark Samus 3. If she puts up the force field, she's still in Dark Samus 3. That's great. Hope that she's still in there. And looks like she is going to center me, which is unfortunate. But I got a lot of damage, so that's fine. Now she's in Dark Samus 4, but now I have to wait for her to shoot these phase-on pellets, because that is the only thing that is going to damage her. This is decent luck so far. Got like maybe 2 shots left, so time is coming up. Final bosses are so hard to commentate for Prime 1 and 2. There's so much happening.
That was great. Yeah. You hit everything.
Yeah, or she can just give me the worst RNG and just give me one pattern. Or I don't know if that's actually the worst. I don't know if it's possible for her to like
a 0 pellet?
not shoot. Yeah.
That'd be terrible.
Yeah, ideally you get one. I think this actually might be this actually might do it. Coming up on time, and let's see here. Time.
The other
get
G.
the second G.
Yes.
2 Gs.
Oh my god, we sub-2'd that.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
pretty good.
Oh
That's
my
really
goodness.
good. Sub 2 hours. Did you have your own RTA going?
I did, yeah. I have a 156.10.
Wow, that's a really, really
And I
good
detoured.
time.
I threw.
That's with 3 gondola rides.
The 4 gondola rides, I'm pretty sure.
4.
3 or 4.
Because you wrote it
I
backwards
lost
that
count.
one time.
Oh, I guess that counts, yeah. 3.5.
Yeah, 3.5 gondolas.
3.67.
Could this be the 3.5 gondola world record?
Oh man, maybe. I don't know. Gotta get Sestron and Cosmo not to do this one.
Thank you so much for this fantastic showcase. Are there any other final shout-outs you'd like to make before we wrap things up here?
If you want to see all things Metroid Prime speedrunning and randomizer related, go to metroidprime.run. That will link you to the wiki, and that has links to Rando Discord, where all the Multiworld stuff happens too, as well as the Prime 1, 2, and 3, and I guess now technically remastered speedrun Discords, which is pretty cool. The wiki has links to a lot of different tricks you can learn if you want to get good at the game. You can find me at twitch.tv/BashPrime. Where can they find you, Reggie?
You can find me at twitch.tv/UncleReggie. So, I would also like to shout out Toaster, our commentator, who knows an incredible amount about Prime 1 and some amount about Prime 2. Toaster is the current active patcher dev for everything that we do on Prime 1. So if there's anything cool or awesome that happens in Prime 1, Toaster's most of the time responsible for that. I would also like to shout out Charbunny, who, through a major twist of fate, ended up being our host for this slot in Multithon after being our host for GDQ. So super, super thrilled to have you back with us again for this run.
Oh, thanks. I was so excited when I got to join it again. I've been looking forward to this one. I appreciate that you're willing to have me a second time.
Absolutely. Also, major shout outs to the Multithon team. The event here is incredible. I love that it's featuring so many co-op and multiplayer runs. I think that's a really cool theme. And of course, Blue Path is a fantastic organization. So being able to help try to pair these service animals with children with autism is just a beautiful cause.
Yeah, I actually had never heard of it until Multithon came around. So really, really cool stuff. Toaster, I think you have a run coming up, a co-op run of your own.
Yeah, another Multiworld.
Yeah.
Wow.
This one for Archipelago, and you will be my host.
And then Reggie will be hosting too later in the day.
Yep.
Sorry, what was that, Reggie?
Toaster, your run is a little cool because not only do you develop the patch for Prime 1, you develop the patch for another game, right?
Yeah, I am the creator of the Overcooked 2 Randomizer, a game that you would not think can be randomized, but it turns out to be a very good randomized gameplay experience. So that's going to be in there in an Archipelago Multiworld with Rogue Legacy and StarCraft 2 as a 3-team multi-world experience. So more random chaos like this, just with some different games. So
yeah, it's like the other Archipelago is like the other side of the cross game coin currently, I think, which is really cool.
All that sounds fantastic. That run is going to be Saturday, but for this run, I think we're about done here. Thank you again so much to both of our runners and our commentator for this fantastic showcase. Whew. All right, chat. With that, we are getting closer to the end of today, but we're not quite done yet. We still have a Stray run coming up. That'll be a 100% unrestricted run. And we do still have that incentive open to choose how our cat appears for the entirety of that run. Spyro the Dragon's in the lead, but Garfield still has a chance. I know the gap looks a little bit wide, but we've closed faster gaps than that in less time, so I know you can all make it happen. And of course, the action continues tomorrow with VVV, Ape Out, Bugsnax, and Haven, just to name the first set of runs. Haven also has an incentive open right now, a bid war, where you can choose what type of couple we have. We have female K and female U, male K and female U, and male K and male U. So plenty of options for whatever you'd like to see. And then later that day, we are going to have that Spelunky run. I'm super excited for that one, and that is, of course, potentially going to be extended if we can meet the bonus co-op eggplant run. That's at 5 out of $150, and I really, really hope we can make it happen. For now, though, that was a lot of really awesome gaming. I think it's time for us to take a short break, but we'll be back soon for Stray.